Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a book haul. I'm so excited about this one. I have some really awesome books that I wanted to show you guys. Books I'm bringing in, I'm gonna be reading soon. You probably can expect to see them in maybe a couple wrap-ups within the next few months. I'm very excited. A couple things to address. I did dye my hair. I just dyed it back to my natural color for fall. I really loved the blonde, but it's a lot of maintenance, especially if you are a natural brunette and have like very dark hair. Yeah, I'm also filming back at my desk just because it's like my easiest setup to do, and I just love the green bedding. It's really good. So if you guys haven't seen my other two videos that I filmed actually on my bed, I felt very weird filming them there. It was my August TBR and my July wrap-up. I hope you guys enjoyed them. I read a lot in July and June especially. I really got back into reading, so it was great. May was really rough for me. If you follow me on Instagram, you might know, but I really didn't do that much reading, so I feel like June and July, with the summer months, I picked back up reading, and I have some really great books here. I feel like some of them are recommended based off of what I've read recently. Some of them are like slight autumnal feels, which I'm really excited about. So the day I am filming this was Barnes & Noble's book haul sale, so it was 50% off select hardcover titles. And then I also did their paperback deal a couple times, actually. I don't know. We'll see what I've got here. Also, if you can see the reflection of my glasses, I'm sitting in front of the window. And if you hear loud action movie sounds, my parents are watching The Terminator, so we're just gonna roll with it. All right, so the first two books we have are from Sam's Club. They have giant stickers on them, so we're gonna try and gently peel them off while I address them. So the first being The Guest List by Lucy Foley. So I saw this and I feel like I've heard it talked about loosely, just kind of around the book community, but from the back, I got that it's like a bridal party stuck on a remote island and there's murder, which I really like. Murder. Reading about it. This is a Reese's book club pick. I have so many of them. I feel like Reese Witherspoon has read everything popular for her book club. I'm excited. I wanted to get more into like psychological thrillers, murder mysteries, that type of thing. For some reason, they get me in the mood for fall. And it has been so disgustingly hot here that I'm ready for the cool weather. Next is another Bachman. If you guys saw my last book haul, I hauled Beartown, I believe. So I picked up Anxious People because I saw it. Not to be confused with Sally Rooney's Normal People. But this one almost kind of seems more intriguing to me than Beartown. I still am like interested in Beartown, but just for what I'm feeling right now, oh, this one is gonna be a bitch to get off. I'm just kind of more in the mood for this. So apparently, from what I've heard, there is an open house. And a couple people get together to go to this open house. And then there's a hostage situation. I guess somebody tried to rob a bank in town, and now these people are getting held hostage. I don't know. I could be making this all up. But I know that it like deals with everybody having their own like kind of storyline, or we at least getting insight onto every individual hostage's life. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this one. It says Anxious People is an ingeniously constructed story about the enduring power of friendship, forgiveness, and hope. The things that save us even in the most anxious of times. Also, I didn't know that that's who Frederick Bachman was. But he lives in Stockholm, Sweden with his wife and 2 children. How endearing. I love when people put about their personal life on the back of books. I always know that Colleen Hoover, on all of her books, it says she lives in Texas with her husband and her boys. And I'm always so fascinated to hear. Anyways, we're gonna break this up into the 2 Barnes & Noble trips I went to. This is embarrassing. I got 5 books on each outing. So the first is The Cave Dwellers by Christina McDowell. Look at the cover. It was a cover buy. I definitely bought this because the cover spoke to me. This was in the new fiction releases. I don't know virtually anything about this book. I know the kind of aura around it. I believe it's like political elite, like Washington DC type of political fiction, and like old money New England vibes. Next, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I actually saw somebody, one of my mutuals on Goodreads, had read it. I'm pretty sure it was Mel Reads actually, had recently read a Grady Hendrix book. It was not this one though. It kind of has like the same background though, where it's like a black background and then just an item in focus. I can't remember. I think it was The Final Girl Support Club, but I know that this is like paranormal fiction. It's like vampires, and it's based in Charleston, and I live in South Carolina, so that's really why I bought it. It is also about vampires, so I felt like this was like kind of fallish. Again, not sure where we're going with that one, but we'll see when we pick it up. Next, I had to get a romance. Christina Lauren's Love and Other Words. This is a romance love story told in past and present perspective. And I don't know the trope exactly, if it's childhood friends to lovers or childhood friends to enemies to lovers. I'm leaning more towards childhood friends to enemies to lovers, meaning like there was a falling out at some point, and that's why we're getting the past to then kind of explain where we are with the present. Do you get what I mean? I really enjoy books that are told in past and present perspective, or that have dual perspectives. I like getting more insight on like the overall story. I'll let you guys know what I think. I have not heard anything about this. I have read Beautiful Bastard, which is by the same author, and I just read another book by Christina Lauren, The Unhoneymooners. Phenomenal, was so good. Absolutely loved it. 5 out of 5, one of my favorite. We have some really great characters in The Unhoneymooners, and I'll talk about it in a wrap up, but very much so enjoyed. Next, The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I feel like this is also a very autumnal energy read. I'm pretty sure I read Ninth House in November of last year. I could be false though. And the synopsis of this reminds me very closely of Ninth House, just without the fantasy, fantastical aspect. This is set on a college campus, and there is a murder, and we have a therapist, very similar to Alex Michaelides' other book, The Silent Patient. We have a therapist who's kind of like our narrator, or at the heart of our story, and they are trying to figure out this murder, this crime, and they have their suspicions. So I'm very excited. I feel like it is like similar in that aspect to The Silent Patient, but then also different because the storylines aren't anything similar. But I'm very fascinated. I'm very excited to read that one as well. And then the last book I got from this trip was The Deep by Alma Katsu. This is a paranormal fiction thriller type deal about the sinking of the Titanic. And it is like on the take of there is something haunting the Titanic, and that is either there's something haunting the Titanic or there's something haunting the Britannica from the Titanic, if that makes sense. Like the ghosts have transferred. I don't know. I'm about like 30 pages into this and I'm confused. It's not starting on the ship, so we're having to get like a little bit of like what's going on here work. I'll see. I'm really excited this also. I don't know. I'm really into, I think paranormal fiction, like the paranormal genre of horror is my most enjoyed. I don't like things that are very haunting and like gonna keep me up at night. And for some reason that's not ghosts. Very particular about that. All right, to quickly break up the Barnes & Noble monotony, I wanted to show the one book that I did get from Amazon. This is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I literally can't find this at Target. I couldn't find it at Barnes & Noble. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I really wanted to read this. Another Colleen book I'm going to show in a second, and Heartbones were like the three that I had heard the least about, and when I read the synopsis, I was like, these are all extremely fascinating, so I'm very excited. Actually, confess I don't know. This is her romantic thriller, so it's more edgy, I don't know. But it does say she lives in Texas with her husband and their 3 boys. I love that. Quickly, my book of the month picks. Not spons. If they want to, I would not be opposed. It is my most kept and favored subscription. This was not my pick. I picked for this month Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey. This is a Scotland set story of a biologist or a scientist or a animal rehabilitator, something in that field, who is releasing 14 gray wolves back into society in the Scottish Highlands, and there is a murder of a local farmer, and the finger is being pointed at one of these 14 wolves, and thus the blame is getting put on this. The blame is getting put on them because they were the ones to release these gray wolves into the Scottish Highlands, and now somebody's dead. However, there's a gag. The main biologist, the girl whose perspective we're following, doesn't think that it was her wolves. She thinks it was somebody else, and she has her suspicions. So this sounded really fascinating. I don't know why, but any Scotland or Ireland set stories, I immediately favor. They're just, I don't know, I haven't read a bad one yet. And then I added on The Heart Principle by Helen Hoang, because if you guys have seen my July wrap-up, I read The Kiss Quotient and it was incredible. It's one of my favorite romances. I really, really enjoyed the story. I love the characters. I recommend. So I need to either pick up physically or find an ebook copy of The Bride Test so that I can read that, and then I can read The Heart Principle. I don't think I need to read them in order, but I would like to. I also don't necessarily know what characters we're following, because the 3 books all fall in a series, but I know that we're not continuing to follow the same characters from the first book, Michael and Stella. Like, that is their story, and I feel like we might get bits and pieces of it, but I don't think it's sisters, because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Stella was an only child. So it may be some of like Michael's family or just other characters that are all then intertwined. I don't know. I'm very interested to see. I loved The Kiss Quotient. It was so incredible. So like I said, I got some from the book haul sale. I think it was only one day only. I'm incredibly sorry if it is. It was today, August 13th. And it was 50% off select hardcover titles. So they had like a small section of the store, and I found some that I liked, and then I did do the buy one get one 50% off paperback deal. The first being Yolk by Mary H.K. Choi. This also has stickers on it, so we're gonna peel them off while I chat. So I have quite a few YA contemporary books. I honestly can't tell you if I've read any of them. So I wanted to find one that I would really like. As far as what I can see on my shelves, nothing is really hollering at me. I think I do have some on my to read in 2021 list, but I'm not positive. But I was looking in the YA 50% off section, I saw this and it sounded very interesting. So again, while I'm peeling off the stickers, we're gonna have a chat. Yolk is the story of two sisters who are honestly quite differing in their like personalities, and I don't know if that means they don't jive or if they're just, you know, different people, but they end up going separate ways. I believe one ends up in Korea. Yes, one ends up in South Korea and the other one ends up in Texas. And so they end up separated and then have to come back together and like rely on each other because one of the sisters ends up getting diagnosed with cancer. And so it sounds hard-hitting. I don't know why, but I tend to really enjoy the more hard-hitting contemporary stories. I'm not necessarily a really big coming-of-age person. Like I know sometimes that they can overlap and coexist, but I would rather have something like hard-hitting than something like very light. This was the copy I got. The book is beautiful, by the way. I don't have any really yellow books on my shelves either. So, enjoy that. Next, Songs in Ursa Major by Emma Brody. This was the last copy they actually had, and I was very shocked and surprised, but I love this cover, first of all. And I had seen a TikTok video by an indie bookstore, I'm pretty sure, and they were asking the employees, if you like Daisy Jones and the Six, what is another book that is similar in plot or like general vibe, has that kind of band following, or, you know, is following multiple people, that sort of deal. And Songs in Ursa Major was one of the recommendations. I honestly know nothing about it besides that one recommendation. It says, the year is 1969 and the Baleen Island Folk Fest is abuzz with one name, Jesse Reed. Jesse is tall and soft-spoken with eyes blue as stonewashed denim, and with his intricate guitar riffs and supple baritone, he's poised to tip from fame to legend with this one headlining performance. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna stop reading there because, wow, exciting. You don't know what that last sentence of the first paragraph of the synopsis was. Maybe that'll make you want to read it more. Kind of crazy. That kind of sounds like another book I just got the other day, or in my last book called The Man Who Saw Everything by Deborah Levy. I don't know, I feel like if that book, just from synopsis alone, and Daisy Jones and the Six had a baby, maybe we would get Songs in Ursa Major. Who knows? So my store has 2 paperback tables for the buy one get one 50% off, and I was so shocked when I saw The Only Good Indians on the table by Stephen Graham Jones. I saw this, I don't even know how many months ago, in a Cat and Her Dad Paperback Dreams recommendation video. I'm pretty sure it was for like the horror genre. I have pretty much bought every book that they've recommended in that video. I know I have Long Way Down. I got The Troop. Yikes. But this was recommended. Really exciting. And I saw it on the table, so I figured I would get it. It says, a tale of revenge, cultural identity, and the cost of breaking from tradition in this latest novel from the Jordan Peele of horror literature, Stephen Grant Jones. Seamlessly blending a classic horror and a dramatic narrative with sharp social commentary, The Only Good Indians follows 4 American Indian men after a disturbing event from their youth puts them in a desperate struggle for their lives. Tracked by an entity bent on revenge, these childhood friends are helpless as the culture and traditions they left behind catch up to them in a violent, vengeful way. Jordan Peele is the director of Get Out and Us. You might recognize him from Key and Peele. I love his work, so I very might, well, love this if Stephen Graham Jones is the Jordan Peele of horror literature. Continuing on, Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. This I got because I read Normal People, and I really, really enjoyed Normal People. I think I read it back in June. I loved it, and from what I've gathered, at least from my friends that I've watched their book videos and their reviews, recommendations, whatever, is that the people who didn't like Normal People also didn't like Conversations with Friends, but the people who enjoyed Normal People have enjoyed Conversations with Friends. I'm really excited and looking forward to it. I know that Sally Rooney has a new book releasing soon, so I figured I would read Conversations with Friends and then I will have read all her work. I don't know if she has anything else besides. It says Frances is a cool-headed and darkly observant young woman, vaguely pursuing a career in writing while studying in Dublin. Her best friend is the beautiful and endlessly self-possessed Bobby. At a local poetry performance one night, they meet a well-known photographer, and as the girls are then gradually drawn into her world, Frances is reluctantly impressed by the older woman's sophisticated home and handsome husband, Nick. But however amusing Frances and Nick's flirtation seems at first, it begins to give way to a strange and then painful intimacy. What? Very excited. I enjoyed Normal People a lot. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So I saw it on the table and I needed a second book. Finally, the last book. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. Confess by Colleen Hoover. This was the only other one that I was really fascinated by, and again, I hadn't heard much about it. Confess, Verity, and Heartbones. I really hadn't heard much talk about it. I feel like the most talked about of her books are Ugly Love, It Ends With Us, and All Your Perfects. I don't know what this is about, so we're gonna find out together. Very nicely. Auburn Reed has lost everything important to her. In her fight to rebuild her shattered life, she has her goals in sight and there is no room for mistakes. But when she walks into a Dallas art studio in search of a job, she doesn't expect to find a deep attraction to the enigmatic artist who works there, Owen Gentry. I do remember this. Romance. Pretty good. I'm not gonna read the rest of it because my voice is boring me, but that is all the books I got. I say that like it's a little amount, when in reality, lots to read, lots to hopefully enjoy. If you have read any of these books and you guys have any opinions, any order I should read them in, if you think I won't like a book, feel free to comment your opinions and let us have a conversation in the comments down below. The floor is yours. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're all having a great day. I'm gonna leave my Instagram and Goodreads link down below for my page. I'll also throw my TikTok down there if you guys want to follow it. I do sometimes like book hauls, small vlogs, and thirst traps. I'm not promising good content, but it is content. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're all having such a wonderful and great day. And as always, guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.